Okay gang, not much talking is going to be going on except between Archie and I, but it's time to set the engine down in there. And I've got to align the clutch. There's a slot in the back of the clutch. Let me show you that slot real quick. You can see right here, that slot, when you're putting this in, has to line up with this piece right here where Archie and I are both pointing to. That's where that has to line up. And then you also have to make sure that the engine is back far enough so that you don't whack the drive shaft coupler. It's made of fiberglass. You put the weight of the engine on it, you're going to do some damage to it. So let's get to dropping this engine in here. One, two, three, go. Everybody in YouTube land's waiting for it to drop. It's not dropping yet. 1, 2, 3, go. How long am I gonna wait before I drop it, guys? Alright, I'll bring it down. Down we go. Now we're not getting too close to the... It looks like we're probably 1.5 inches or so away from the drive shaft.
Yeah, about an inch.
About an inch, okay.
Alright, about a 1/2 inch. Whoa, whoa. Alright, now you're right on top of the bolt.
Is it touching?
It was. Alright.
Let me know if I can go down.
Alright, now you can go down.
Watch your fingers.
Alright, you're right up against it.
And that's the way it should be. So now we'll get everything spun and aligned. We're going to have to spin either the drive shaft to the hydrants.
I got it.
Did you get it centered?
It got centered. That
Was a little bound.
the plastic's got a hole in it. Plus the aluminum piece up here's got a hole in it, outside the hole, and it fit right inside of it.
Okay, so it's
Should be all lined, ready to
situated
go.
now? All right. So now we'll grab the camera and we'll get a little close up of. And that's the first thing you want to do, guys, is put the drive shaft on before you do anything else. So what Archie's doing here, we may have to do a little bit of shaking, shimmying, and whatnot, but
It's not lining up.
yeah, we may need to turn one way or the other. Nope. Okay. Guys, I'm gonna pause. There we got it. All
There
right.
it is.
There's number one. Now we've got to rotate both the hydro. Do you have the hydros released?
Yeah, it's released.
Okay. So we have to rotate the crankshaft of the engine and the drive shaft at the same time. Run them around so we can get the other bolt in place. So
It's
you
not
grab
completely
here. That's okay. You grab here and I'll grab here and we'll go your direction. Ready?
right. Okay.
You can go some more if you want more room to
Yeah.
get that up
Right
and get
there.
lined
That'll
up.
be fine.
Okay.
Let's do it this way.
Let me see here. I need to rotate one or the other. There we go.
Try that.
Let me get this hand down here and I'll lift up a little. There we go. There we got her started.
Yeah.
Okay. Now guys, I can go ahead and pause the video now. What we're doing, we're going to tighten both of these bolts down to make sure that engine is secured. We're going to let it self-center, not like a self-centered idiot, but we're going to let it self-center so that we can put the motor mount bolts in, get the rest of our connections done, fire this sucker up and see how she does. So we will be back. The connections are just your ground and your ground wire, your battery wire, or excuse me, your starter wire right here going to the starter, and your bolt is just right up underneath here. and then both of your choke and throttle cables. Now the choke cable, this is your throttle, and then your choke is over here out of my way. You can't see it at the moment, but the cables and everything is designed so that it will just bolt directly to, without having to make any changes to, your throttle cables. We'll also reattach the fuel line. The gas tank actually mounts on the other side, but we've got enough fuel line. We'll get it run around to the fuel inlet going into the fuel pump here. I believe it's a Mikuni. Yep, Mikuni fuel pump. Once we get all those connections done, we'll get the two belts back up onto the clutch, get the belts up onto the clutch, get the spring tensioner back on there so that that's good. Then we have one single connection at the end of this wire, which is hidden over here. And then we also have our wiring pigtail right here that will plug directly into that plug right there. And then we should be golden. We should be able to crank this thing up, start it up, and run it through its initial break-in. So stay tuned. My hero. Archie just pointed out that we did neglect to grab the clutch guard off of the Kohler to put onto the Briggs. And if we look down here, we do have mounting holes for that. So we're going to go ahead and get that clutch guard on there. But that was something that I missed and Archie caught. So I'm glad Archie's down here to help me out. We probably would have spent all this time, effort, and energy, and the heat of the muffler would have burnt the clutch up, and then I'd have had to have bought Archie a new clutch. So, yay, team. That's why it's always good.
Yay, Archie.
Yeah, that's why it's always great to have more than just one mind looking at everything that's going on.
It does, it pays.
Yeah, it
Sometimes.
does. Yeah, so
Somebody gets on your nerves sometimes, but it pays sometimes.
fortunately you don't. I just get a kick out of your random words. So
But that's the way you'll always remember me.
that's why you. Yep. Oh, lots of other reasons than just that, but yeah. Okay, guys, we'll be back. Okay, gang, I just mentioned about the heat shield, and also the, in case you blow a belt, this thing's pretty robust, so you won't slap yourself or the engine if the belts break. So this belt guard here, you notice it's got this piece on top. This piece will not allow me to get in place here or here to bolt this to the new engine. So all I have to do is just cut a piece of this out to allow clearance for the muffler. It's coming up and hitting the bottom of the muffler before I can get to those bolt holes. So we'll get that cut out and fitted and show you pretty much the profile that you're going to need when you go to do this yourself. Okay, gang, what I had to do was take down about 3/4 of an inch here all the way across on both sides in order to get that to clear the muffler. Okay, so if you remember seeing the original profile, I kept it level with how it was before and just cut about 3/4 of an inch off starting here, wound up, just 3/4 of an inch off the top of the whole thing. So there you go. We're going to let this cool down or dry off a little bit because I did paint it so it won't rust while we throw the belts on right here. Hey gang, Archie's getting the battery connected there. I've got to get the gas tank mounted. It mounts right here, but all the other connections are done. Here is the guard that I was talking about that you have to do a little bit of modification to. And you can see here, I've got my clearance. Everything's good, clean, clear, and copacetic with the muffler now where it was wanting to hit it before. Just a belt guard. And we'll come up here to the throttle. Now in the instructions, it says to hook your throttle cable, there's two mounting points on this half moon. There's one here and there's one in the back right by this tang. Okay, the instructions were backwards. They said to mount it here. Well, in doing that in the back, you were going slow when you should go fast, going fast when you should go slow. So it's real simple. Just move it to this one and that'll allow you to have the throttle operate correctly. Fast, slow, slow, fast. And then the choke, just plug and play. We'll go ahead and pull the choke here real quick so you can see the arm come out. So that's that. The connector, now we won't know until we start the engine, but the pigtail connector that comes with the kit is tucked way down in here. Here we go. Just plugs right into the original wiring harness, so that should work okay. We should be fine there. We're going to get the gas tank on and prime it. I've already got oil in it. We'll get her started, tune it if we need to, and see how she runs. Got all of our guards on. We just need to put the weight plates back here, bolt those down yet, and she should be golden. Should be ready to go all before lunchtime. So that's it. That's Zippo. Holler at you in a bit. Well, gang, we've checked and double checked. Got everything back together with the Briggs & Stratton Vanguard twin in there. Now it is the moment of truth. You guys are going to witness the first starting of this engine since it left the factory. So let's see what happens. Oh. Full choke. We'll leave it on idle. I don't need to pull these in or anything.
No, they gotta stay out.
Okay. Well, gang, hey, everything is working. And we didn't want to run it too long because I filled it with oil, but that didn't fill the oil filter. So we're going to fill the oil filter and then we'll finish the break-in. And then Archie's, and it's even a lot quieter than the Kohler.
Kohler in, it is.
You guys will have to go back to the beginning of the video where I paste the Kohler running. So there we go. In like flint. This is Zippo. I hope these installation tips and my trials and tribulations with doing this helped at least somebody out, or at least makes it entertaining. This is Zippo. Later. I'm out.